that second half, is that as good as your defense has played in a long time?
I'll just say this, I'm very satisfied by the way we came out and played the second half. And, yes, and we really didn't play a bad first half. When you look at it, the punt, I think, was, and I'm not trying to give any negativity, but the punt was like a 24 or 5-yard drive, and the fumble was like a 38-yard drive. So, yeah, you don't need a long-winded answer. I'm going to do better that way.
Well, let's use the microphones, please.
Very happy with the way we came out in the second half, and I thought we played as good a defense as we played in a long time, and we needed it for a while.
Right back here, Coach.
Coach, because of the Oregon offense tradition here the last 5-10 years or so, the points, the yards, defense doesn't get a lot of attention nationally. How do you think this defense is stacked up this year?
Well, so far I think we're averaging 16 points a game or something like that. I'd say that's pretty good. Anytime in today's game you can hold a team to under, in my opinion, under 24 points, particularly with our offense, you have a chance to win those games. After 8 games, very pleased. You know, as a coach, you don't get to enjoy or really see all that stuff until the season ends, and then you go back and reflect on that. But after 8 games, obviously, we are very pleased.
Tom, the back.
Back here, Nick. The job you guys did on Brett Hundley tonight, how impressed were you with that? And then you obviously thought your guys were up to the challenge there.
I was concerned about him. He's a good football player. That's a good football team, by the way, and he's a good football player, and Jim Moore is a good football coach. He broke away a couple of times where I thought he shouldn't have. You know, it's funny how, as a coach, you always look for some of the things that you should have done better, and when we watch the film, we will. But he made 2 big plays with his feet. I wish he wouldn't have, but we were concerned about that coming in, and he's a good player, he's a good athlete. Overall, I just glanced, you know, we held the team under 300 yards. That's good, and because they only threw for 64 yards or something like that, the 580 they threw for last week will kind of balance out pretty good.
Right here in the middle, John.
When you make an adjustment with this defense, are you more often doing an X and O adjustment? Is it a mentality thing? What do you talk about at halftime? 14-14.
Good question, John. You know, I think sometimes you like to take a lot of credit for something you do at halftime, and I think people think you either do something really fancy or something unbelievable. The magic is in the kids. We just simply talked about that they had 2 scores on a short field, and when we say that, we're not dogging any other part of our game. We just simply said that they had 2 scores on 2 short fields, and that we're going to come out here and dominate the second half. And they listened.
Front row, Will.
Coach, you talked about making the second half adjustments. A couple of guys have said that they were talking in the locker room about not wanting to give up any more points, not wanting to give up any more yards. What does it say about your defense when they can talk that talk and then go off the wall?
I love when they do that stuff. And I love when they talk dirty to me like that.
Warren, did you have a question?
I do.
Right here.
Nick, it looks like you made some changes. Looks like you made some changes in the second half on the defensive line. They ran pretty good on you in the first half. What kind of changes did you make on that defensive front in the second half?
We just played better. I wish there was some secret. We just played better, and we got simpler. We actually did less in the second half. Sometimes less is more. Somebody said that. I didn't make that up. But we really just played better. We played a better pad level. We stayed in our gaps, and we ran to the ball like you love for teams to run the ball. Like there was 12 out there, and the young men did an incredible job on the perimeter on all those orbit motion bubble screens and passes out there. We were really, like I said, that's a good team. That's a good quarterback. That's a good, well-coached team. Moore is a great coach. Our kids did a nice job of controlling the inside run, not letting Hunley hurt us so bad in the second half, and then really doing a good job on the perimeter with those, what I will call orbit, bubble, and flare screen.